the glass shattered first. Not a sound of impact, but a slow, sickening fissure running across the perfect, two-way mirror that was their world. You see the reflection in the thumbnail, the memory, once whole, now 1,000 pieces of broken glass. That was the final second before they became the world's most famous strangers. The story begins with the unavoidable ruin, the moment their love was deemed too bright to survive the sun. It's 2020. The storm had just hit, a manufactured crisis engineered not by a single enemy, but by the gravitational pull of their impossible success. Wang Yibo is in a rehearsal studio in Beijing, the air thick with fear and the sweat of his dancers. He's practicing a new routine, aggressive, sharp, pure hostility translated into movement. He dances until his knees bleed, using the pain to anchor himself. Then, his phone, a burner, only for emergency contact, lights up. A single word from Xiao Zhan, listen. Yibo opens the link. It's an audio file, raw and unedited, recorded in a luxurious, soundproofed room in Shanghai. It's the voice of Zhan's most trusted executive, the woman who had guided him through the fire, talking to an unseen, powerful figure. The damage is absolute. The executive's voice whispers, clinical and cold. They have two choices: immediate, public separation, total non-contact. Or we let the storm consume them both, and every brand, every film, every contract they hold is destroyed, permanently wiping both names from the industry within 6 months. The industry demands a villain. They demand rupture. A breath, then the horrific choice. If Zhan chooses to walk away, to sever all ties, the industry agrees to save Yibo, to make him the unaffected ideal, the one who was betrayed by the childishness of the past. But if Zhan tries to hold on, Yibo will fall with him. Yibo's headphones are screaming with the truth. They weren't fighting an enemy, they were fighting a paradox. If they admitted their bond, they were destroyed together. If one sacrificed the other, one could survive, carrying the entire weight of the ruin. He heard a sound in the background of the recording, a soft, ragged inhale. It wasn't the executive. It was Zhan, listening to the same conversation in real time. Zhan had recorded this for Yibo, not to ask for a decision, but to present the final, lethal terms of their fate. The audio file cuts out. Yibo stands paralyzed in the center of the studio. His heart is not beating, it is cracking, like the glass in the thumbnail. He realizes Zhan had already made the choice. Zhan was offering himself as the sacrifice, the one who would accept the villain role, the one who would push Yibo away, ensuring the unavoidable ruin looked like his fault. It happened on a cold, desolate roof of a production building in Shenzhen, 1 week later. They arranged it through the burner phones, under the guise of exchanging final, business-related documents. No staff, no shadows, just the roaring wind. Zhan arrives first, wearing a dark trench coat that swallowed him whole. Yibo arrives moments later, his face carved from ice, his helmet still in his hand. Yibo walks toward him, counting the steps. 10, 9, 8. Zhan speaks first, his voice thin in the wind. Did you listen? I listened, Yibo replies, his voice a low vibration in his own chest. I need you to hate me now, Yibo. Zhan whispers, his eyes tearing, not from sadness, but from the searing wind. I need you to be the cold one. The detached one. I need you to be the one who moves on, effortlessly. Yibo closes the remaining distance. 3, 2, 1. He reaches out, not to hug, but to commit their final sin. He takes Zhan's face in both his hands, forcing their gazes to lock, a last, desperate act of sovereignty over their ruined world. Yibo doesn't speak. He doesn't kiss. Instead, he presses his forehead hard against Zhan's, their masks momentarily grinding together. The pressure is agonizing, a communication beyond words, telling Zhan, I know. I saw your sacrifice. I accept the villainy, but I reject the lie of betrayal, He feels the shudder that goes through Zhan's body, the understanding that this break is not out of malice, but an unbreakable, joint agreement to sacrifice themselves to save the other. Zhan pulls back slightly, looking Yibo directly in the eye. He reaches up, and with a terrible finality, he reaches into Yibo's helmet, which Yibo still grips, and takes the small, personal silver ring, the hidden anchor from the previous story. You can't have this, John says, his voice flat. It's the proof. If they ever find proof on you, your legend collapses. I'll keep it. I'll wear it on the cord, hidden, like an insurance policy for your silence. They'll never look on me for the proof. Yibo nods once, a curt, professional acknowledgement that shatters Zhan. He reaches out and deliberately removes his hand from Zhan's shoulder, wiping the contact on his jacket, a cruel, visible severing. He hardens his gaze, becoming the cold one Zhan needed him to be. Go, Yibo says, his voice a rasp of finality, the first and last word of their shared death. Go before the cameras find us. Zhan stares at the cold, beautiful stranger in front of him, the man who just killed their shared life to save his future. He turns, walking toward the shadows. Yibo doesn't watch him leave. He couldn't afford to. The shattered reflection of their life was now complete. The third mind-blowing scene reveals how their ruined love was hidden in plain sight, through their subsequent solo music. This is the mirror of sorrow, where they talk to each other through the silence. It's 2023. Yibo releases a new, intensely technical dance track, all fire and calculated energy. The public sees perfection. But we hear the secret. In the middle of the complex rap verse, there is a micro-pause, less than a beat, a space where a synth loop should have kicked in, but doesn't. This missing sound is the phantom text in musical form. It's the empty chair in the song. Days later, Xiao Zhan releases a ballad, acoustic and pure, about finding strength in the face of irreversible loss. The lyrics are vague enough for the masses, but the melody holds the key. In the final chorus, just as his voice reaches its highest, most vulnerable note, the background instrumentation includes a single, brief, 8-beat synth loop, the exact same sound that Yibo omitted from his track. The shattered pieces of their reflection lay scattered for years, each one a sharp, brilliant memory. But the silent pact they made on that windswept rooftop was not an ending, it was a complex, 5-year project. It's now 2025. The date on Wang Yibo's hidden studio wall, June 27, 2026, looms like a distant, inevitable dawn. They have performed their separation with flawless professional malice, ensuring the unavoidable ruin never consumed their partner. The architect's oversight, the redemption theory. The fourth mind-blowing scene takes place in the very heart of the enemy territory, the office of the architect, Yibo's lead executive. The architect is meeting with a powerful, older studio head, discussing Yibo's contract renewal. She is smug, detailing the success of the solitary god narrative. He's been the perfect tool, she states, tapping the table. No risks, no human attachments. He even severed ties with Xiao Zhan, a clean, professional break that solidified his focus. We removed every piece of proof, every link. The studio head, however, is a seasoned observer. He leans forward, his gaze unnerving. Did you remove the redemption theory, architect? Did you remove the reason for the separation? The architect scoffs. The public believes the separation was caused by toxic fans and professional prudence. It's boring but effective. Boring is the problem. The studio head replies, his voice dropping to a theatrical whisper. The greatest love stories are tragedies of duty. The public senses a grand sacrifice. And sacrifice is always repaid. He then unveils the true, mind-blowing plot twist. The architects were the reason for the original scandal, but their control was flawed. The studio head reveals a classified timeline. The entire manufactured crisis of 2020 was a trial balloon, a brutal test run by the entire consortium of industry heads, designed to force their separation and prove their compliance. But in the chaos, they overlooked one small detail, a forgotten clause in an old contract that bound a minor film studio to both Yibo and Zhan's original production companies. The architects were so focused on the breakup, they missed the back door. The studio head explains. They forced them into personal silence, but they never banned them from working under an obscure joint venture contract that expires on the same date as Yibo's freedom, 2026.06.27. The architect's face goes pale. The date is a literal plot device written into their contracts. The coded proposal, the script arrives. Simultaneously, we cut to Xiao Zhan in his own separate office, surrounded by scripts. He is meticulously rejecting high-profile romantic lead roles. He is waiting for the one. A courier arrives with a plain, unmarked package. Inside is a script for a small, independent film, a two-person historical drama about rival spies who must communicate through coded music. The director is an unknown, the budget minimal, the risk huge. John flips through the pages. The final, crucial scene description is a familiar, poetic echo. The two spies stand on opposite sides of a crowded room, their gazes meeting. The moment is a mirror of sorrow, a perfect reflection of separation. He sees the title of the final scene. The invisible line is drawn. John smiles for the first time in years, a genuine, unguarded smile that lights up the room. It's the opposite of the cold mask Yibo has worn. He hasn't just found a script, he has found a coded proposal. Yibo, or someone working under his direction, has found the backdoor and used this obscure film to propose their public reunion, their redemption. The fifth, and final, mind-blowing scene before the cliffhanger is the ultimate confirmation of their unbreakable bond, a detail hidden beneath the surface for years. It's late 2025. Yibo is on a photo shoot, changing costumes behind a screen. His assistant notices a strange, almost imperceptible discoloration on the inside of his left wrist. It looks like a faded scar, or maybe a tiny, stylized mark. This is the profound, secret truth they forged in the fire. They never had time to get matching rings, but in the chaos of their first year apart, they found time for a shared tattoo, a pact that could not be legally or publicly severed. It is the real-life broken promise, a visual metaphor for their shattered perfection, but the key is that they both kept the broken piece. It is the physical manifestation of their commitment to the unavoidable ruin. Yibo's is on his wrist, his point of contact with the world. Jean's is on his back, the part of him he turned to the world when he walked away. The silence is ending. The invisible line that was forced between them is about to be challenged by the coded music of their final, public scene together. The two greatest stars in the world, once destroyed for their love, are now marching toward a reunion under the guise of an obscure film contract, set to expire the moment they step off set. The broken circle is about to be completed. You've just witnessed the final, most intimate secret of their bond, the shared tattoo. But why did Yibo choose a script about two spies separated by duty? Click the video on your screen right now to watch the unraveling, the scene-by-scene breakdown of the coded reunion script and the real-life location of their final embrace. ****.